Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Tony's Money Lens. Listen, this is going to be an amazing video. I just want to talk to you guys about the first time it was like when I had and experienced real money. I mean, the first time. I tell you, I was like 5 years old and I was just this energized kid and just moving along with life, smiling, talking to everybody, just enjoying myself. And every holiday, it's like Christmas, Thanksgiving, it didn't matter what holiday, I would always just come to grandma's house. In grandma's house, it was my aunties and uncles and cousins and grandma and grandpa and all these people. And that's when it first began. The liking of the first experience of money. And I'm going to tell you guys what it was like and exactly how I felt. I felt like dancing. And it was just one of those things that people, when they saw me, they wanted to give me money. Everybody wanted to give me money. And my mama would tell you, you know what, Tony? Ever since you was talking and smiling and walking, people was giving you money just over and over and over. And what it was dollars. It was $1 bills. And I look at that $1 bill and I just keep on dancing, dancing the night away every time that happened. And I tell you, I can hear it to this day. My grandpa just laughing, talking about Tony boy, Tony boy, Tony boy. And I never would have thought after all these years, Tony's money lens would hit YouTube. And I'm telling you guys because this was a story that you would never forget. But from 5 years old, it was just dollar after dollar after dollar. And you probably want to know, well, what did you do with that money? All of the dollars that was coming to me on all of the holidays, I was saving. And guess what I would do? I would invest it. What I wanted to do is turn that dollar, that $5, that $10 into 15, 20, 25. I didn't know what I was doing. But at 5 years old, I just kept collecting. By the time I was 8 years old, I had all these dollars still saved up. And I don't know why I was saving it. I was just putting it under my mattress. At a young age, I was happy to receive, and I knew it meant something because my mom would always say, "You want to go to the store?" I was like, "Oh, yeah, I want to go to the store." Well, what do you want to buy? I want to buy some Nihilators. I want to buy some Cheetos. I want to buy some whatever. Whatever my favorite thing was, that's what I would do with the money. But I would only spend a little bit because I knew because it felt so good and it felt so rewarding. And I knew it meant something because every time I smiled and made people feel good, they'd make me feel good by saying, "Tony, here's $1." And every time I felt like they'd give me $1, I felt like I needed to dance more and more. So I tell you, it was like Tony, money, family, joy, saving, investing. At 8 years old, I turned it to a money machine. I turned it to a calculator. I tell you, every day I would look and count my money. And then I started going to the store, buying candy, buying chips, all the different later colors, and I would take it to the school. And whatever I buy for this candy, I sell it. If it was 5 cents for me, it was 10 cents for them. If it was 20 cents for me, it was 40 cents for them. So I kept buying candy and buying annihilators, buying chips, taking it to the school, and I became known for this. I became consistent about this. People knew when I came to school, I was going to have some candy to sell, some chips to sell every single day. And guess what? Not only did I have money from all the holidays, all the uncles and aunties giving me money every time I smiled and danced for them at all the different holidays, guess what they used to do? They look forward to seeing me, and I started getting dollars even when it wasn't holidays. Whenever I saw any of my relatives, I was getting these dollars. They started adding up, adding up, adding up, adding up. And guess what? My mom, when I was in elementary, she started giving me $5 every single day for lunch. Guess what I did? I'm gonna tell you what I did. I saved that $5. And what I did, I made me a big old sandwich with 3 layers with that $5. And I kept that $5. I put that $5 away with those other dollars. And that started just constantly just adding up, adding up, adding up. But I took that sandwich every single day. And every time I got hungry, I ate a little piece of that sandwich. Later on the day, I ate a little piece of that sandwich. By the end of the school day, I had the whole sandwich saved up. My mama didn't know nothing. She had no idea that every single day I was saving $5 every day, right? And that started adding up. And guess what I started doing? Now I'm selling newspapers. I'm selling flowers. I'm loaning people money, charging them interest. I tell you, I started doing all these things with money, right? So by the time I was 16 years old, I had over $100,000 saved up in cash. It was underneath my mattress, and it came from selling newspaper, selling flowers on the corner for $1, buying candy cheap, selling it for more every single day. This is what I was doing constantly. And I tell you, it was so rewarding and so beautiful that I knew and I had a vision early on. And you probably want to ask me, well, Tony, from Money Lens, what made you do that? What made you focus as a little kid to saving money every day from $5 and also buying candy every day and reselling it for a higher price? What made me do that? I'm going to tell you one thing. When I saw my mom every single day getting up, going to work every day, coming home 9, 10 o'clock at night, every single day, one thing I wanted to do, and I had a vision in my mind. I said, you know what? I want to retire my mama one day. I want to make sure I put myself in a position that I don't ever have to ask her for anything. Even though that $5, it came every single day. But I tell you, my mom, she bought one pair of pants, one pair of shoes for me and my brother. And guess what? We wore that for the whole year. We grew up poor, everybody. We grew up poor, but I had a vision that I didn't want to stay there. I wanted something different. And in my mind, I said, the future is greater than the past. The future is greater than the present. I didn't know what I was doing, but I tell you, as I got older at 16, my uncle, he said, you know what, Tony? These years gonna go by so fast. And he showed me his bank account. He had $24,000 in his bank account. I didn't tell him at that time I had over $100,000 in cash at 16 years old. And guess what I did? I bought a car for $500. That's what I did. $500. I could have bought anything almost, but $500. But I knew the value of having money. I knew the value of saving money. I knew the value of investing money as a young kid. What would I would have told myself at that age? I'm gonna tell you what I would have told myself. I would have told myself at that age to not only invest money, not only to have money, but to think about money in a way of not being too much of a giver with it. I became a person that, you know what, you can have this, but what I would have told myself is just don't tell everybody what you have. Don't do that. Keep it to yourself. So what I started doing, I said, you know what? I'm gonna be humble. But as I got older, I said, you know what? I want the Maseratis. I want this. I want that. So what I would say, just to a person, to myself, at that age, guess what, Tony? Take 30% of that 100% and live off that 30%. So invest the 70 and live off the 30%. That's the advice I would tell me at that age. Okay? Like I said, this is Tony's Money Lens. I'm going to continue to come back with more and more about money and myself and about now and about the past and about what I'm going to do heading into the future. This is 2026 in Inglewood, California. I'm loving you guys and I hope you loving me. Until next time, peace.